So that's how all the pieces from the puzzle go together. Now let's see how we're gonna do that in the car, you know. This video is sponsored by Tabo Customs. Tabo Customs are the ones who make those fantastic kits for frame repairs, for Jeeps, and not only for YJs, but also for all kinds of Jeeps, and not only frame repairs, but also all kinds of upgrades that you might need for your Jeep. Check out their website, tabocustoms.com. You can buy all those kits and everything from there. You can also visit their YouTube channel, Tabo Customs, and there you can see instructional videos about those kits as well as other videos about off-road trucks and other interesting things that are mostly about Jeeps and off-road vehicles. So you can buy their kits from their website, tabocustoms.com, or if you are like me in Canada, you can contact directly David on his email, tabocustoms@adams.net, and he can arrange a shipment for you. Okay, now I can get rid of this, put it to the side, and we're gonna use it when the time comes. Okay, and when everything is assembled, that's how these two are gonna come, just like that. Now we have to remove the body mount, but this body mount is not holding into anything here because, you know, this box inside is rotten, so I better remove it. Let me try. Okay, so now the body mount is removed, and you can see this box here is missing, but that's another problem that we're gonna have to solve later. We will see how. So now we're gonna focus on the frame, and this is how this piece fits now. See, there's this notch here, and that's for this, where this bracket is welded to the frame. So before I remove the shackle, remember I test fitted it, and it lines like this. So it fits perfectly here. I'm gonna mark it, and now I can remove it, and I can clean up here most of this rust. I don't want to leave it inside. Actually, I'm gonna wire wheel here first, because when I'm wire wheeling I might lose the mark. So I'm gonna wire wheel it first, I'm gonna mark it again, and then I'm gonna cut out the rust. So now you see how far the rust was spread, but our piece for the other side of the frame is not that long, because this actually here, this piece going that way is the cross member, the front cross member for the gas tank. So when you put this here, it only covers to here, somewhere here. And actually I don't have any reference for the position of this piece, how far forward or backwards goes. So my only reference is going to be the other piece, which I have reference that goes, I don't know if you see, that goes right there. I'm gonna just put them together now to check, and I can see that from the opening for the shackle tube to the end of the front I have the same distance, so that's gonna be my reference. I know where this piece goes, and this one is gonna be right on the other side. This is the inside, so on the inside of both pieces you have to weld these washers. Okay, now I can put it again here and clamp it on the mark. That's how it was before. Okay, now the spring is on my way. I'll find the scissor jack for here, like Dave from Table Customs did. Okay, that's solid. It's not going anywhere. I don't want it to bang and clamp my fingers in between. And you know how we have holes here inside. We're not gonna bother for now with these. We're gonna weld them from underneath later. So now we just wanna put this here. Okay. Looks like it is in the right position. Let's see how does the shackle tube fit. Perfect. And now, according to the instructional videos, we should tack the shackle tube in place. Just tack it, both sides. Then tack this bottom plate, which has these two holes, and the hole that is closer to the end, that's the rear end. So you can drain your frame from there. When it's full of debris, you can wash it inside. Anyway, so you can tack it here all the way, and then you can remove this whole assembly and weld the shackle tube on the inside nicely, because you have access. Now I'm gonna use this bottom plate as width, because that's how wide my frame needs to be. Okay, and now I can center the tube in the width, and I can tack it on the inside. Okay, so now that the tube is in place, I can take out this clamp, and I can weld this piece, so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm squeezing the two bottom parts together a little bit, because this is the bottom plate and it needs to fit like just like that. So I can fill this with weld, and I can fill this with weld. I'm not gonna start all the way at the back, because normally there's another plate here that came off on this thing, so we're gonna have to make our own plate for here. But there's a plate with a nut that holds I don't know what. So we're not gonna put it all the way out. We're gonna start from this here, from this corner, and we can tack it in. I have to make sure that it is straight, it's not on an angle or anything. The reason I might remove this clamp now. Let's tack it here too. And I can start bending it and tacking it here. And then, if we're lucky, we're gonna be able to take this assembly out, weld the shackle tube all over the place, and then just put it back in and weld it to the frame. You know what? I might use the scissor jack for that. Now I guess I can use a clamp here. No, I think the jack is the best option. The jack moves my position a little bit, which is not good. Hopefully we can bring it back where it was. It went exactly where it was, and here it is exactly where it was. So we're golden. So now again we have to move the spring out of the way here. Go. This is our piece. Okay, so we're gonna weld the shackle tube from the outside and from the inside. We're gonna grind it flush after, and we're gonna make sure that there are no like it's clean inside, so the bushing can go in. I can even weld this now. Wow. Okay, that's it. So just like we said, we took another frame and we replaced the rear end with it. The only difference is that we didn't find another frame, we made another frame. Okay, and now we can tuck it in place and we're gonna go home. We're gonna finish this tomorrow. All right, so that's it for tonight. Tomorrow we're gonna weld all over the top here. We're gonna make another patch here because I don't know if you see. No, you don't see, but there's still, we need to make longer extension here to reach the end of the damage, because we are actually pretty far, because we need another, I don't know, like 3 inches here. We have to cover the hose on the other side and then work here at the end, make our end pieces and go from there. Nice and solid. Anyway, see you tomorrow, guys. So it's another day. Let's see where we left it off. We left it off at this. We left a mess. The other day we assembled these parts together, created this assembly, and we tucked it in place, but it's not welded in full, you know. Now we have to weld it in full all over here, and on the other side we have to fabricate a piece for here because it doesn't reach to solid metal, so I want to extend it to the solid metal and over, so it is nice and solid joint, because no matter how strong this is, if this joint here is not strong, doesn't really matter, right? So we need to make sure that this is strong. So I know that this is a solid metal that we're welding to, and we're overlapping it, but underneath also I want to extend it so it reaches solid metal and overlaps it like good 4 or 5 inches, and then I'm gonna be relaxed. Also on the other side, let me go there. Now you see here how we're not reaching the solid metal. We're gonna have to fabricate pieces for here too, not only to cover the holes but also to overlap the solid metal and weld it together to make sure that we have a nice and solid joint. And once this is done, we're gonna start attaching these little wings for here, you know, that came with the kit from Tabo Customs. And when this side is done, we're gonna do the same on this side, which supposedly is in a little bit better shape, but we're gonna see that. I think we're doing a nice progress. And then before we weld this piece that we fabricated, before we put it here, we're gonna go ahead and repair that over there, which looked much worse before, but now I'm not so scared. We might need to remove that body mount too. I actually got all new body mounts, so we will see if we're gonna replace any of them or what we're gonna do. I just bought them so I can replace this one because this one was damaged. But if we have to replace more of them, we're gonna replace more, but I'm not replacing all of them now, maybe in future. And yeah, there's still a lot of work, but I'm really positive that everything's gonna turn out really nice here and solid. Anyway, so I guess I'm gonna do that on my own. I'm gonna clean up, I'm gonna weld this in full everywhere, and then when we start making those patches and stuff, I'm gonna bring you back. All right, so this is where we are. I already welded underneath everything, but I just wanted to show you this side here, how I welded it, because I haven't showed you yet. But yeah, this is the additional piece here that we welded in. It's not beautiful, my welds are not beautiful, but they are solid, so that's what's important. And that's underneath now, with all these little patches welded in. Again, not beautiful, but solid. I might grind these a little bit where that piece there. I don't know, maybe you see something that I don't see, because from my angle I can't really see, but I think it's more than enough here for this part. So that's it for now here, and let's move on to this end here. Now here, these are a little bit tapered, but that's because they are overlapping at the top and at the bottom. We squeeze them to the width of this, but that doesn't really matter as long as it is solid. Here underneath we had this thing, remember, which we cut off, and it had this bolt underneath that actually wasn't holding anything. On the other side, the bolt was holding the plastic cover, you know, around the bumper, that thing over there, through that hole, you see. But on this side it was even broken, and this bolt wasn't holding anything. But still, we're gonna put it back on. I mean, not this, we're gonna make something else with a nut there, so whatever that bolt is for is gonna be, we're still gonna be able to use it whenever we want to. So now we have to make a plate with one nut, just like this one here. Here you can see it better on this side. And we're gonna finish this bottom rail, and then we're gonna weld those to the sides here. There you go. So I took measurements for this nut from over there, from this other one, and welded it in place. Now we have a hole underneath, and we welded this whole bottom in place. So now we are ready for the next step, which is gonna be, this needs to come here and this needs to come here, like that. Now you can see this one has a straight top end, this one has a little curve here. which honestly I don't know what it is for, because my frame was so bad that it was missing almost everything here. But I'm assuming that there's something, if your frame is still relatively intact here, you're gonna need this curve for some reason. So anyways, that's how it goes. The curved one goes on the inside, the straight one goes on the outside. So these are actually from the other side, because the ones that I'm gonna use I already bolted here to this piece that we made, and now I hung it there with a zip tie, and I can lift it here and position it where I want it. I have to somehow keep it here. Maybe I'm gonna make a little tack right here in the corner, which I'm gonna cut later, but then I will be able to go inside and weld these pieces in place like this. So let's go underneath. Okay, so that's what it looks like inside. It's not beautiful, I know, it doesn't line up perfectly, but that's not because of the kit, that's because my frame was so bad. So this joint here, to reinforce it, Tabu Customs sent us this little bar for this side. There's one more for the other side, so we can reinforce this joint like this. We can weld it both sides, and then over this we have those gussets that go like that, and that's gonna be like, it's gonna hold forever. Now this here originally was narrower, and I'm gonna cut it narrower, something like that. Let me mark it actually. So we're gonna cut this later, because here we have the body mount later, the bolt, and we need to have access to that. But for now I can do this bar, I can tack it in place. I will do that for both sides, and then I'm gonna remove the cross member and I'm gonna finish welding everything. We're gonna put the gussets on, and yeah, and we're gonna be done with this side. Okay, so that's how they line up. There was a little gap here, but the bar in the corner filled it up, so now I can weld it on this side if I want to, and I'm gonna weld it on the outside too, and we're gonna put the gussets in. I don't know if now it's gonna be, maybe now it's gonna be better to show you. Yeah, that's how the gussets go, and yeah, so let me weld those. Alright, this is more or less what we were expected to do. Now I'm gonna make another stitch here. Okay, let me come back. I hope I still have room here for the bolt, for the body mount, even though that body mount has nothing to mount to. But that's another story. Anyways, let me do the other side. And this is the other side. Again, I'm not proud with the visual side of it. It's ugly, I know, but I'm sure it is as solid as a rock. So this side, I can say it's done now. I need to grind just a little bit here to make sure that the cross member can go in again, but we know that it lined up well before when it was flush. Here I might weld on the inside later, like I run a stitch. Sorry about the light there. I can rather run a stitch there after I put the cross member though, because now I'm afraid that if I weld it there, I might not be in the right position and whatever. Again, let's see the inside. Let me get rid of this light. So again, this is what it looks like inside. And this is what it looks like the outside. I am actually pretty happy with how it turned out. Remember what it was? Oof, I don't want to remember. I think this was the corner that was the worst, and everybody was concerned about this, about the strength of this frame. I know that most of you still believe that this frame shouldn't be trusted, but I hope that at least some of you I managed to convert, and now that you see that not everything that looks bad is so bad. So yeah, I think we are in a very, very good shape here with this frame. I'm sure that this frame is more solid than many other frames that are on the road now, and it's gonna last much longer than many other frames that are on the road right now. So anyways, let's go with the video. We finished this corner, and in the next video we're gonna finish the other corner. And since we've already done one, I'm not gonna show it in so many details. It's gonna be just the most important parts, and we're gonna leave some room for probably the cross members repair, and then we're gonna be done with the frame repair. Then we're gonna need to do some other things, like we have to see what we're gonna do with the body mount on this side that is missing from the body, also the skid plate for the gas tank, and some other things. So there's a few more videos coming up after the frame is done, and then there's going to be some electrical videos because we have issues with the electrical system too. So there's videos coming up for this 94YJ. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Click that subscribe button underneath if you're interested, and also hit the bell so you can get notified when I post new videos. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all of this good stuff. So that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.